everybody, and welcome to Intro to Accounting 2. I'm Professor Quinn, and part 1 of this orientation video, I'm going to walk you through the resources and information that you're going to find on Blackboard, and in part 2, you're going to be looking at how we're going to be using Cengage now throughout the semester. So when you first log into Blackboard, it's actually going to bring you to the announcements page. At the start of every week, so on Monday morning, I will actually post an announcement there with reminders of what is due that week. Any new updates and things are going to be posted there at the start of every week. It's also going to get emailed directly to your NECC email address. So please make sure you are checking that email address frequently and that you're communicating with me using your NECC email address, because that's how I will be communicating with all of you throughout the semester. The first announcement is going to tell you to come here to the Read Me First section. And in the Read Me First section, you're going to find some very important information about how we're going to be using Blackboard, the information that's available to you on Blackboard, and how to get started in the class. So overall, we're going to be using Blackboard more as a resource center. All of your homework assignments, your quizzes, and exams will all be completed through Cengage now. For emails, you'll notice that I disabled the Blackboard email link that is usually in here. The reason that I did that is because I like to get back to my students as quickly as possible. And if you email me through Blackboard, it only actually lives in Blackboard. It doesn't come to my personal school email. So I don't see it unless I log in here. So again, please make sure that you use my email address that I've provided to you at the top of the syllabus. For your grades, all of your grades will be on Cengage now, as well as found under this link called My Grades. So I post them in both locations, so at any given time you have a very clear understanding of where you fall in this class. In terms of resources that you'll find here on Blackboard, over here on the left-hand side, you're going to find a link called Professor Quinn Example Videos. These are videos that I have done. They're YouTube videos where I walk you through either an exact question, example, or exercise that's in your textbook, or one that is similar to one that's in your textbook. I've identified what chapter, what topic, and what exercise I'm either doing or is similar to the one that's in your textbook, so you can follow along as well. Under additional resources over here, you'll find some great refresher documents, things like how to increase and decrease every account, which financial statement is on every account. So if you haven't taken Accounting 101 in a while, or the winter break kind of has made you forget all about debits and credits, there's some wonderful resources that you can find under here just to refresh your memory before you get started in the semester. Below that, you find the discussion link. And in there, there's going to be 2 discussion posts that you're going to find that are available to you throughout the entire semester. And the first one is called Have a Question. So if you're ever sitting late at night trying to get your homework done and you're very stuck on something, you can actually post your question here. So please be mindful that this is only for homework questions, not test or quiz questions. But if you have a question, you can post it here, and maybe one of your classmates can actually answer it for you. Please always make sure to send me your question as well, because I want to make sure that you get an answer to your question. So definitely always email me, but you can post it out to the class as well. And if you happen to be working one night on your homework and finding that this chapter is coming easy to you, if you have a chance, pop in here and see if anyone's posted a question that you might be able to answer. The other discussion post that will be available to you throughout the semester is called Piece of Advice. So during the semester, if you find that there's a certain resource, a certain study tool that you've been using that has been really helpful to you, whether it's preparing for an exam or doing your homework, whatever the case may be, let your classmates know that. Maybe you forgot about the Professor Quinn example videos, and if you go in here, you might see that someone said that they're really helpful to you. Or maybe someone's using the practice sets that are on Cengage now before an exam, and that's been really helpful with getting them prepared for a test. So just share with your classmates what is working for you, and make sure you pop in here every now and then and see what your classmates are leaving as their best piece of advice, because again, it might be something that you will find very useful to you. So there are 7 important tasks that you need to complete in order to get started in the course. First and foremost, to watch the 2 orientation videos, because they really do contain a lot of very useful information for you for the course. You're then going to want to read through the syllabus that's below, and then you're going to sign and date the Syllabus Agreement form and submit that to me, and that is your first graded homework assignment. You want to make sure that you print out the calendar and the homework and test schedule that's below, as all of the due dates and times for each assignment and test are included there. You're going to want to introduce yourself to your classmates using the discussion link that is going to be below, and also respond to at least 2 of your classmates' introductions. This is also a graded homework assignment. And then you're going to complete the Syllabus Scavenger Hunt quiz. And then last but not least, you're going to click on the Cengage Now link that's on the left-hand side of that navigation pane at the top, and follow the instructions to get logged into our Cengage Now course, and then complete the first assignments in Cengage Now. So down here, you're going to find some very important information regarding the syllabus and all the assignments that you're going to have throughout the semester. So I have provided for you a printable calendar so that you can very closely keep track of when all of your assignments are due. You will notice that you have 2 weeks to complete every chapter's worth of assignments and a quiz or test that's associated with it. So please make sure you are scheduling your time appropriately so that you can really plan what days, times work best for you to get your homework done. I give you 14 days, so if days work better for you while your kids are at school, get that done then. If nights work better or weekends work better, definitely make sure that you're really carving out time as if you had to go to class. That's going to be your best way to really stay on track this semester. Again, I give you 2 weeks to complete a chapter's worth of assignments. On the weeks that you do not have assignments, don't take those weeks off. You want to make sure you are utilizing those weeks and making sure you're starting your assignments, because if you try to figure out and do all of your assignments on the day that they're due, you're going to run out of time very quickly. So please make sure you're utilizing those weeks that I don't technically have any assignments due. I do that purposefully so that you really have time to spend working through the assignments that are due for each chapter. Also keep in mind that the school's policy is that for any 3-credit course, which this one is, you are supposed to be spending on average 6 hours a week outside of class time. So if this had a class meeting, this would be in addition to that, on a class. So again, even though you don't technically have assignments due in given weeks, you should still be spending approximately 6 hours working on this course. So please budget for that for every single week so you don't put yourself in a bad situation on the night that all of your assignments are due and you haven't started any and you're going to feel like you are way far behind and that you can't get things done. So don't put yourself in that position. Again, I give you the big opportunity to decide when it makes sense for you to do your homework. Nights, weekends, during the day. So really carve out that time. I also give you a homework quiz and test schedule. At the top, I give you some very important reminders. One of those very important reminders is that every homework assignment is a prerequisite for the next assignment. So you have to get a 72.5% or better on every assignment in order for the next assignment to open up. Again, this is why I'm telling you don't wait to the last minute to try to do all of your assignments. Use those weeks that you don't have assignments due, because if you have to retake an assignment or two, that's going to push you very far back if you're trying to do all of your assignments in one day. Also, you have to get a 72.5% or better on the assignment that's listed before a quiz or an exam in order to access the quiz or exam. So you're not required to get a set and up score on a quiz or exam in order to move on to the next chapter. But for example, when you receive a 72.5% or better on the Chapter 9 homework assignment Part 3, quiz number 1 will become available, as well as the Chapter 10 lecture assignment Part 1. So just be mindful of that as you move forward. I give you some reminders about when to submit and when not to submit your assignments in Cengage Now. We'll get a little bit more into that in Part 2 of the orientation video. You have the option of taking your assignments more than once, and the highest grade counts for your grade in the class. So for example, if on the Chapter 9 lecture assignment Part 1, you got a 74, that is a high enough grade to move on to the next assignment. But if you don't want the 74 in the class, you can take that assignment again. And let's say on the second attempt, you got an 85, that 85 will count for you in the class. So take advantage of that opportunity to really improve your grades. Although only attempts that are submitted by the due date and time will count for you. So if you take that second attempt 2 or 3 days after the assignment was due, that higher grade will not count. So just be aware of that as you move forward. I also give you some information about when the correct answers will become due for those lecture assignments. If you do not submit an assignment on time, you do not request an extension on an assignment, you will still have to complete the assignment with a 72.5% or better in order to move on to that next assignment, but you will not receive credit for that assignment. I allow every student 2 extensions on assignments during the semester, so either on a lecture assignment or homework assignment. It does not work for quizzes or exams, so you have to submit your quizzes and exams on time, but you are allowed 2 extensions. All you have to do is email me before the due date and time has passed for that assignment, and you'll automatically be granted a 24-hour extension. Please note that each extension is only good for 1 assignment. It's not good for an entire chapter's worth of an assignment. So, for example, if you need an extension on the Chapter 9 homework assignment Part 3, that would be 1 extension. 1 extension would not cover all 5 assignments that are due for Chapter 9, so just be mindful of that. Once you start a quiz or test, you do have to complete it, and all quizzes and tests are timed. I do give you plenty of time on quizzes and exams, so really take your time, read those questions carefully. Once you submit your quiz or exam, you're going to be able to see your score immediately, and then the correct answers will become available the day after the due date, starting at 7 p.m. And to get to that, you just go to the Grades tab in Cengage now and click on your grade for that assignment. For quizzes only, you are allowed 2 attempts, and the highest score is counted for you in the class. So after your first attempt, you'll be able to see your score and the questions that you got correct and incorrect. So take that time to go back through your notes, your homework assignments, through the textbook, see if you can figure out what the correct answers should have been for those that you had incorrect, and then take the quiz for the second time. You will not have the same exact questions on your second attempt, but they will be similar, and now you should be better prepared for those types of questions. So on this schedule, you will see every assignment that you have, when it becomes available to you, when it is due, how many attempts you are given, and if you have to have a minimum score in order to move on to the next assignment. So all of your lecture assignments, you have 2 attempts. All of your homework assignments, you have 3 attempts. All of your quizzes, you have 2 attempts. The only assignments that you have only a 1 attempt on are your exams. So the difference between a lecture assignment and a homework assignment. A lecture assignment are short videos that are broken down by learning objective, and then you have to answer some questions. So this is really about like getting a lecture in class. Since we don't have any face-to-face classes, this is a great opportunity for you to hear about the terminology, to see some examples before you go in and do your homework. So for example, for Chapter 9, Lecture Assignment Part 1, you will hear and learn about some of the learning objectives. And in Homework Assignment Part 1, you are only going to be looking at those same learning objectives. So you're going to be learning about some learning objectives, learning and applying as you go. So don't really brush off those lecture assignments. They're very useful as you move forward. In the syllabus at the top, you'll find all of my contact information. My office is located in the C building on the Haverhill campus. I have office hours on Tuesday and Thursday. My office number is here, but I'm definitely more available on email than sitting in my office waiting for the phone to ring. So if you need me, send me an email. I'm usually pretty good at getting back to you very quickly. The textbook that you're going to need is Accounting, the 27th edition. So for those of you who took Accounting 101 in the fall semester, it's the exact same textbook, so you do not need to buy a new one. And also a Cengage Now access code. So if you purchase the textbook at the bookstore in the fall semester and you got the access code with it, again, you don't have to buy anything else. Everything is packaged in there for you. In order to be in this class, you had to receive a C or better in Accounting 101. So please make sure that if you do not meet that requirement, that you withdraw from this class and re-register for an Accounting 101. The reason I say that is that the day after the add drop period, any student that has not met a prerequisite to be in a course is administratively withdrawn from the class. So that means if you did not meet the C requirement for this class, you would be withdrawn from the class and the add drop week would already be over and you would not be able to add to another course. So please make sure you go ahead and do that if you need to. Emails, again, please make sure that you are using your NECC email address. That is the way that I'm going to be communicating with you. And please do not send me emails from a personal email address. The reason I say that is I've had students do that in the past, and the email system thinks it's spam and it puts it into my junk or spam folder and I don't see it. So please make sure you're checking that frequently. Again, announcements will be posted through that email account for you as well. So you want to make sure that you're checking that on a frequent basis. In terms of grading, homework assignments, those lecture assignments and homework assignments that you complete in Cengage now are going to count for 30% of your grade. And it is 100% up to you if you're going to have that 30% of your grade be an A or be an F by the end of the semester. So again, take advantage of those weeks you do not have assignments due. Get ahead in the class. You can definitely get ahead. So if you know you have a busy week coming up, or in February, if your kids are on February school vacation and you want to go away, you can get all of your assignments done. So please make sure you're really paying attention to those two very important printable sheets I give you, the calendar and the homework quiz and test schedule. Because again, that 30% is a very large chunk of your grade. I'm rewarding you for spending time and effort on this class, so take advantage of that. Your quizzes, you have 4 quizzes this semester, and again, you're allowed to take those quizzes twice, and in total, it will count for 10% of your grade. And then you'll have 4 tests on 2 chapters at a time, and in combined, those will count as 60% of your final grade. The lowest test grade of the 4 only counts as 10%, the highest counts as 20% of your grade, and the remaining 2 tests count for 15% each. Just some quick reminders, there are no extra credit assignments given in this course. I give you 30% of your grade that you get to decide what it's going to be at the end of the semester, and that's more than any extra credit assignment could ever do for you. So really take advantage of that 30% and work really hard to get through those assignments. Do the best you can. When you don't get a good grade on an assignment, go back, review what you've done wrong, learn from it. Homework should really be a learning process, and then go back and take it again. And again, that higher grade will count for you in this class. So really take advantage of that opportunity. In terms of makeup tests, they are generally not given out of fairness for everybody else who is prepared to take a test on the scheduled date. However, if there is something preventing you from being able to take the exam on that date, it is in your best interest to let me know as soon as possible, and I will consider giving you a makeup and exam. But do not wait days or weeks to get in touch with me, because by that point it will be too late. If you're having trouble understanding the concepts, please get in touch with me. Watch the videos I've posted on Blackboard. Use the many resources that are available to you on Cengage now. This class is very different from Accounting 101. In Accounting 101, every chapter builds on the previous material. So in Chapter 1, you learned about financial statements and what assets and liabilities were. In Chapter 2, you did journalizing and posting and trial balances. And in Chapter 3, you did the same thing. And in Chapter 4, you did it again. This is very different. So sometimes it can feel like you're learning a lot more material than just 8 chapters, which is how many chapters were covered in Accounting 101. So every chapter is unique. Every chapter is focusing on a different topic. But they're all topics, for the most part, that you know about. So things like accounts receivable and liabilities. And there'll be some new topics, things like statement of cash flow and investments and corporations and partnerships. So really take advantage of all those resources that you have. I'm always willing to help you, so you can come in and meet with me if you need to. We also have wonderful tutors available at the Academic Center on the Haverhill campus in C201. So you can come there and get extra help as well. Please be mindful that you need to have a C or better in this course in order to move on to upper level accounting courses and business finance. So once you have read through all of that information, you're going to come down here, you're going to click on this Word document, you're going to type in your name and the date, and then you're going to save it to your computer, and you're going to upload it clicking on this blue Syllabus Agreement form link. You'll then complete the Syllabus Scavenger Hunt quiz, and you're going to introduce yourself to the class and also respond to at least 2 of your classmates' introductions. Again, over here, Professor Quinn example videos, you will see that there are several videos that I have done for every chapter. So if you're getting stuck on something, I might not be covering the exact exercise that you're working on, but I might be covering the same topic. So come here and see what topics I'm covering. Again, I've indicated here either what exact exercise I am covering that matches your textbook, or one that is similar to an exercise that is in your textbook, so that, again, you can kind of follow along with me as we're doing them. Under additional resources, again, some refreshers, so things like debits and credits, what side increases, which accounts, what accounts are found on which financial statements, all of those are in here if you need a little bit of a refresher. Under discussions, again, you can find introducing yourself to the class. You can also find your have a question, and you'll find that piece of advice. Notice that there's already 4 posts in here. Those 4 posts are from students who have already taken this class, and they are leaving you their best piece of advice. They're telling you how they were able to be successful in this class. So definitely take a look at that. These are coming from your peers who have gone through this course, and see what made them successful. And again, add yours in at some point during the semester when you feel like you found something that has really been helpful to you. Over here in Cengage Now, I know most of you have used Cengage Now with Accounting 101, but if you haven't, I give you kind of a little overview of what Cengage Now is. It's a website that we're going to be using. Again, it's where you're going to submit your homework assignments, quizzes, and exams. Also, please make sure to jot down this login address. Once you actually log in by clicking on this link here, you do not have to come back through Blackboard in order to access Cengage Now. It is just a separate website. So down here, you're going to click on this link, and that's going to help you get registered into our Cengage Now course. If you already have a Cengage Now account, you're going to enter in your your username and password that you created when you created your account in Accounting 101. You don't have to create a new one. If you've never used Cengage Now before, you will be prompted to walk through those steps to create an account. So you'll then have 3 options. Enter your access code. That would be the one that was given with you with your textbook. So if you took Accounting 101 last semester, then you've already registered your access code. You don't have to re-enter it. However, if it does ask you for a course key, please enter in this course key. And don't forget that E with the hyphen. So just copy this whole link and put that in, and it will get you into our course. If you need to purchase the textbook and access code, you can do that through the bookstore. You can purchase just an access code through the bookstore, or just an access code for Cengage Now through this link as well. What that access code will give you is access to all of our assignments, tests, and quizzes in Cengage Now, all the study resources, as well as the full ebook. So if you don't feel like you need a hard copy version of the book, you can just use the ebook. That's up to you. If you have never used Cengage Now before and you want to see whether you can use the ebook, whether you like it or not, you can also use the 14-day free trial that will give you access to absolutely everything. So no matter what, if you're waiting for your book voucher to come in or your next paycheck to purchase it, you have 14 days that you can access all of our course material for free. So everybody should be registered at the start of the first week so that everyone can access all of those materials. If you have any questions regarding purchasing a textbook, if you need to, again, if you took Accounting 101 last semester, you don't have to purchase a new textbook. Everything's already included in there. So that's the end of part 1. Part 2 is going to tell you all about how we're going to be using Cengage Now.